What is up? Welcome to the NBA Rundown, brought to you courtesy of Run Pure Sports and Run Pure Bets. I'm your host, Spread Astaire, joined today by Tyler Hicks, and we will be bringing in Hoop and hopefully a bunch of viewers too, because he's over on the PGA show on the live show right now. So that's on the premium channel, of course, for members of runpuresports.com, promo code GetBets. But Tyler, I'm here today. I stand before you in the chat, a defeated man. I took the Bucks. I like the Warriors. They both came up short for me, Tyler. I don't know which loss was worse. Is it worse to just be completely wrong, and take the Milwaukee Bucks? Although I have a couple things to say about that, and of course I want to hear your opinion, and then I'll go ahead and give mine. Or I don't know, that Warriors game where it was like pretty close. Like, I don't know which loss was worse, but talk to me about your thoughts last night.
I would rather just be completely wrong. Like, you knew, like, you could have just threw the Bucks ticket away in like the first quarter. It was like, this is done.
Oh yeah, I went and cooked some dinner, had myself a steak, got ready for the second game. Yeah.
I would rather just be done in the first than stress myself out the whole game. So I think the injuries in the Warriors game didn't help you either, and I'm interested to see how they factor in the rest of the playoffs. Because yes, you still do have all the championship guys there, but we've seen how teams start to factor in when you lose role players. Gary Payton's a great defender.
And he was one of their best defenders.
Exactly. So they might just be at the rim all the rest of the series, causing havoc. So, and then as for the Boston game, I mean, they shot well from three. Milwaukee didn't close out very well, which was good for Boston, but interested to see how Milwaukee bounces back. It's going to be a fun series. Like, I don't see Boston just steamrolling them from here.
Oh, no way. Because, if you've seen those shot qualities, they were even. So if you just go by shot quality, that was an even game.
I seen that tweet you put up.
Jaylen Brown was making so many shots that were just unbelievable. Great defense. I didn't think Milwaukee defended that bad. I thought Giannis had a little problems with the physicality. I don't think he got the same whistle that he got in game one. But I like him to bounce back rather than I expect Jaylen Brown to just keep being, the second version of Kobe Bryant, or not even Jordan as much, but guys that are just making these contested shots, like Kevin Durant when he's doing well, right? I mean, these are tough shots that Jaylen Brown was making there. Grant Williams played excellent.
Yeah, he played very well.
Talk about an adjustment. So you got to give him credit, and his physicality definitely gave Giannis problems. But now that it's on tape, and I know that you guys love to run down Coach Bud, right? I don't know, man. I think they showed their hand, and I don't think they wanted to show that until game 3. I think they had to show it in game 2 because of how good the Bucks were in game 1.
What, playing Giannis at the 5?
What's up?
Or is that what you're talking about, showing their hand, playing Giannis at the 5?
No, moving Grant Williams to the primary defender on Giannis rather than Al Horford.
Oh, okay. You're talking from Boston.
Boston's defense. Okay, Boston's defense was the difference in the game to me.
Yeah. That's what you have to use Grant Williams as. It's like your defensive stopper. Stand in the corner, hit some threes for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then you and I were lamenting before the show started, right? We had Gary Payton in the lineup. I mean, bro, people were complaining about Draymond. That was 10 times worse.
Yeah, I mean, they're both bad. Like, yeah, I think, like, you can argue it, but, like, I think they're both bad. Like, Draymond.
Do you like jiu-jitsu or do you like boxing? Because Draymond grabbed him.
Increased because of who he is, but like what Dylan Brooks did was, you can't do that either.
Yeah. Draymond had stitches. I mean, Steve Kerr called him dirty. Do you agree with Steve Kerr? Was that dirty?
Oh, what, the elbow?
Everything about the way they were playing.
Oh, no, the elbow to Draymond was clean. That was just in the play.
That was an accident.
Yeah, you seen Tillman just kind of grab
the ball. But he was pissed about it.
Yeah, I mean, of course he's pissed about it. Wouldn't you be pissed about it if you got elbowed in the eye?
Yeah, I would have been pissed, yeah. And Ab Wright coming, like, within 3 minutes of my guy getting absolutely clubbed in the head. I mean, unbelievable.
Horford played well, too, Spread. That was another guy. He keeps playing well.
Yeah. Let's check in with the chat real quick, right? Because I gotta eat my, right? These guys want to take their victory out. Richie Smalls in the chat. Landon, you're right, because I'm ready to get back, man. I took some tough ones yesterday, but I'm ready to give out the winners today. Our guy, Robert, what is up? DJ, how we doing? Jonathan Nelson, our favorite Lakers fan. Jonathan Nelson is still disappointed at the tweet that I sent you, Tyler. It shows that Jay Crowder has more playoff points than Anthony Davis. Tough day for the Lakers. Celtics and Warriors, yeah, all right. DJ got there. Here's our guy, Dave. He says, feel like the Grizzlies almost lucked into that win. GP injury. Draymond has to leave for a decent amount of time. Shooters can't hit threes to save their life. What do you think about that one, Tyler?
Yeah, I mean, they did shoot bad, and losing GP is going to be bad. And Draymond had to leave for the whole first quarter, basically, before he came back in. Yeah. So, I mean, they did kind of have some luck go their way, but they did also play well in the end, and they cannot stop Ja from getting to the rim.
No, but nobody can. It's not. I mean, that's not something that's endemic to the Warriors, right?
Yeah.
But what a great performance by Ja Morant. And through all my complaining about losing the bet, I don't want to lose sight that was beautiful. I did roster him in DFS, so that was nice. He actually got me to a win where I should have lost because I had Gary Payton. I mean, Giannis who only scored 50 on 11.
Memphis Desmond Bane looks like he's like at 70%. He did not look good last night.
He hasn't been for a while.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, these last two games were his bad first two games in a while, but I mean, that back is definitely ailing him.
It's his back. Yeah, he's not 100%. Yeah. DJ says, who's better, Tatum or Brown? I think Tatum's better, but I think Jaylen Brown's a lot closer than people give him credit for. What do you think, Tyler?
Yeah, I agree. Tatum's better, but Brown's very close.
Yeah. Brittany, great comment here. When Grant Will or Horford were not on him, he got to the cup, and he didn't even get to the cup against those guys. They were just really physical, and he was making his shots. Otter crushed DFS yesterday. Yeah, great day to be a member of Run Pure Sports. Out for a walk. I thought the game started at 4:30 for some reason, so I'm just walking around and I'm listening to Big T and K Phallic and Travis. Travis did the Up to Lock show yesterday. I mean, that guy was just trying to put hours in. And they go, yeah, we'll find out in 7 minutes. I go, 7 minutes? I thought we had 37 minutes, right? So I'm changing my out in this middle of this field. I'm changing my lineup there. Move Derek White in. Boy, great move. I almost wish I missed luck. So that was tough. Derek White Chalk does not get there. I can't wait to see. We'll be talking about that. Hoop will be with us as soon as he finishes up wrapping up the CP3 or Booker. We'll be talking about that a little later. Hey, yeah, Phil Jackson's picking the next coach. That's wonderful. Yeah, I mean, you know what I would do? I would send him to just take some peyote. It'll just come to him, the right answer. So I wish I was with it, kicking with Phil Jackson. I think I need a little spiritual retreat to Wyoming. Our guy signed collectibles in the chat. Steph goes off in game 3 at home. Yeah, Tyler, you know what my hot take is? I don't think the Warriors lose at Chase.
I can see them losing game 4. I can see them blowing them out in game 3 and game 4 being similar to game 2.
I think because of the techie little stereotype it gets, people don't realize how crazy that place gets.
Yeah, we'll see though. Yeah. If there's any team that's going to go in there and beat them, wouldn't it be Memphis? A team that just they're like, yeah, we'll go in here and beat you in your own home city. We don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Memphis matches up really well because, unlike that Minnesota series, Golden State doesn't really have the size to trouble them. And then, you talked about it before, but they definitely don't have a guy for Ja. And especially with GP out there. GP was the best one. And is he going to be out for the rest of the series?
I mean, a fractured elbow. I don't see him being back in time.
You got to be kidding me, man. Dylan Brooks is back out there. I'm going to be pissed. Hey, I'm wearing my Warriors shirt, by the way, and people don't know why.
I can tell you another thing that's good for my Suns to get to the finals.
I don't even start with that. Well, we'll be talking that real soon. Our guy DB Gnarly out in Houston, rooting for the Astros, looking for the winners. We are going to be giving them to you. Bane's built like our NFL running back. Hopefully his career lasts longer, right? White killed me. Hey, Frank Jackson did pick Vogel, and they got a ring out of it. So, we'll take some peyote there. I thought you were talking about Jacob Podol there when I first read this. Morant hit some 3-pointers too. So, all right, we've talked about the chat. We've talked about last night. Is there anything else about last night before we move into tonight's game, Tyler?
No, I think we hit on everything.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the chat was going to be rough on me today. I think a lot of them are watching that PGA show still.
Don't both those teams get 3 days off too? Don't both those series not start back up till Saturday?
This next games are on Saturday. Yeah, because we'll have tomorrow off. So everyone knows we're taking them tomorrow off, guys. You won't be able to hang out with me and Tyler today. So if I get it wrong, I have to save it till Friday. We'll be back on Friday with AP, and we'll be discussing all the games on Friday. We'll do Fridays and Saturdays because we'll have plenty of time. So really looking forward to that, of course. Let's jump into tonight. Tyler, we said it before the show started. It's not New York City. It's Chalk City tonight, right? CC Chalk City. What did you think of the Heat and the Sixers? I know we talked about it a little bit before. But we saw how many adjustments that the Celtics were able to make. Number one, Celtics were at home, though. Right? Grizzlies were at home, be able to make these adjustments after losing game one. They still got to do it in Miami. Do you see? I don't know. I thought the Sixers played pretty well. I mean, they got 27 out of Tobias Harris, and they still didn't even cover. That's kind of rough. Do you think that he has a great game tonight? How do you see this game going, man? Because it just seems to me like this is one-way traffic.
Yeah, I mean, I could see maybe Philly bouncing back because they did shoot awful from three. I mean, even some of their role players that are supposed to play well in this spot, like Georges Niang, like they expect him to hit a few threes. I believe he was 0 for 7.
Yeah, I rostered him. That was rough.
Yeah, so he did bad. As a team, they were 6 for 34 from three. So
yeah.
It was just.
But Miami was 9 of 36, so Miami can shoot better from three.
I was
too.
just gonna say that. So Miami can also shoot better.
Yeah,
but I mean, I just think Miami's defense is too much for them. They're pressuring Harden with full court pressure with PJ Tucker, and when it's not PJ Tucker, it's Oladipo. So he's not getting much of anything. It's Maxey and Harris that have to beat him, and these role players. So you're gonna bank on them. Like maybe they get one game where they keep it close, but I think Miami, if Embiid doesn't get back, Miami's just gonna sweep this team.
Well, he's supposed to be back by game 3,
I'm sticking with Miami.
Yeah, until he's back. Yeah, and I'm really curious to see how effective he's going to be in game 3. Mike Conley talked about playing with the mask on, and he said it's not fun. He said you're not the same dude. He said it's really hard to play with that injury. And he's out on the perimeter where technically you're not supposed to get touched. If you're Gary Payton, apparently you can get clubbed in the head. But the idea is there's supposed to be a freedom of movement. Embiid's going to have to be down low, right? And it's not like these guys aren't going to know about it. I mean, Dwayne Dedman, you're here for 6 fouls, buddy. Make them count. So I'm going to be really interested to see how he goes. But until then, man, I don't see how you get away from this side. -8. I thought this would be -9, personally. Maybe there's a little bit of Sixers buyback. Maybe there's some contrarian angles. But like I said, you said they have to improve the threes, but then we're also assuming that Miami doesn't. I just don't see the path to victory, right? And do we count on this guy, Doc Rivers, to make adjustments at this point in his career? I mean,
especially not when he played 32 lineups in game 1, which, I mean, you got to do kind of experiment without your star guy who makes
everything. Wait, how do you play 32 lineups in 48 minutes?
I have no idea. Just throwing different bodies.
Right.
That's what it said. He said he played 32 different combinations of lineups in game 1.
In one game?
Yeah. Well, you figure at the end of the game too, like you got to count those like the late game scrubs that went in there.
All right. Okay. No, so, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm so wow. That's a lot.
Yeah. And the other thing he said too is they're going to continue to start DeAndre Jordan regardless of what people say. So
and then you place your bet the second you hear that. That's an absolutely terrible call.
Yep. So we know he's getting the first 5 to 6 minutes of the first quarter and the first 5 to 6 minutes of the third quarter.
It's like spotting somebody points.
What about I know you hate these bets now because of what happened earlier. It's PTSD for you, but Miami's first quarter team total over 27.5. They scored 30 in game 1. We know DeAndre Jordan's going to be out there half the quarter. They're just going to absolutely torch him when he's on the floor. Like, I think that's pretty low.
All right, guys. Tyler's going to take over and do the show solo. I'm going to go talk to my therapist. He brought up first quarter. I'm going to stay away from that. But, hey, if you translate it to first half, I think it's the exact same. But your idea is that we're going to attack the DeAndre Jordan minutes, right? But my question is he worse defensively or offensively? I almost feel like he's worse on defense.
I think he's worse both. Like, he's just bad out there all around. So the only lineup they had work was they played the very small ball lineup of Harden, Maxey, Green, Harris, and Niang. That was the lineup that went on the run to end the half and gave them the lead.
Yeah.
And the only time he went back to it was when they were down 19 in the fourth, and it was only for 2 minutes. So I think we might see more of that lineup tonight.
Did you see Maxey and Harden bickering on the bench or refusing to sit next to each other?
I think it's just a clash of styles. You have one guy that wants to walk it up and set up an offense.
And you were the one who sent me that, right?
Yeah.
And you said one guy wants to walk.
And then you have another guy that when you see him when Maxey gets the ball, he's flying up the floor and trying to play at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, I completely. You know what? And it was one of those things where, and this is why I love like communicating with you guys in the chat and everybody. That was something that I didn't actually like take away. And then the second you said it, I was like, oh yeah, even though like my brain didn't register it, like I do see it. Like it was like, oh yeah, I should have noticed that. Kind of like when I read those.
Plus, you figure Maxey was the point guard till Harden Harden got there. So he's like, I still want to play my style. Like
Yeah.
I was supposed to be the next guy until you got here. And B goes down. They're going to lean on me more for scoring. You're trying to slow the game down when I need to play fast to play better. So
I think the pace is the real issue.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely don't like. They definitely don't chemistry mix wise. So that's something to keep an eye on.
So what happens there in the offseason? Do they have to move Maxey? Is he young enough to demand a
free
trade?
agent. They might just let him walk.
There's no way they let him walk.
I mean, he might just be like, I don't fit here.
Him and Morey are like best friends.
I mean, we'll see. You never know.
Like, it'd be like,
I mean,
I would give you a $50 million contract,
but
Tyler.
like, if he were to walk, like, it's not even that bad on Philly. Like, they
wouldn't. I just don't think Morey will. That's like his best buddy.
Yeah.
It looked like they were like long lost lovers when they like reunited on the plane when he finally traded for him. I've never seen people so happy. It's like, get someone who loves you the same way that Daryl Morey loves James Harden. I think he stays. So that'll be interesting to see how that continues to work out. So let's bring up the props. What do you got for us prop wise?
I mean, Gabe Vincent's points at 9.5, way too short. He's went over that, I think, like 5 of his last 6 without Kyle Lowry, and still no Lowry tonight. But the one I'm going to target is his points, rebounds, and assists, because he's hit that in 4 or 5 playoff games when he's gotten 25 plus minutes. In the one game he lost, it's spread, he landed on 15. Last game, he shot 4 for 12 and 1 for 7 from 3. You got to think he shoots a little bit better in game 2. If he shoots better in game 2, I think he blows that number out of the water. So give me
what number do you have?
15.5 on
That's
his
what
PRA.
I got. All right, place bet. Thank you.
And
all right, so you like Gabe Vincent. I just got that in. What else you got?
I like Tobias Harris over 26.5.
So you think he has another good night, huh?
Yeah. Well, his points plus rebounds at 26.5, I think, is too short. Because you've seen, 27 and 8 out of him in game 1. If they go small, he's going to be the small ball big. Because even if they use Paul Reed's probably going to get into foul trouble. So Harris is going to have to play a lot bigger. He matched up kind of well with Bam in game 1. So he could definitely get down there and get the boards for you. And I think he scores 20 plus points. So definitely like that over 26.5 on him.
What do you think of Bam? I always love it when Big T writes Bam Bam go ham on his core. Do you think Bam Bam goes ham tonight? Is he going to be
he definitely could. Like, I mean, there's going to be nobody stopping him at the hoop. Like, they have no bigs really. So he could definitely do it. I like his performance double, the double and win at like plus 120. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're still getting plus money on it, and he can walk right into 10 and 10. So definitely like that.
Okay.
And what else? The other ones I like are Vincent, 10 plus points and win, because it's basically his points prop. And we think Miami wins. We're getting plus 150 on that.
Okay.
Or you could do 12 plus points and win at plus 235.
Yeah.
And if you think Jimmy bounces back and has a good game, his 25 plus and win is plus 200.
Did he have a bad game, or did he just not need to do anything?
He didn't. Because I thought he didn't play in the fourth quarter either, so he didn't have to play that hero ball at the end and shoot a ton.
I thought he completely controlled the game from the defensive end. I thought he was all in passing lanes. I thought that he let everyone know that he was there and set the tempo for the team.
No, I agree with you. In the first 3 quarters he did, but in not getting that blowout run is what killed his stats, I think.
Yeah, he only had 15?
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, that's where the box score in the DFS doesn't matter for betting sometimes, because I thought he completely controlled the game.
Yeah. But I mean, I could see Philly keeping this game a little bit closer to where he does play a very good game. You know what I mean?
I mean,
I could
too if DeAndre Jordan wasn't playing, but that's like what you're giving him 10 points right off the bat.
Well, look,
do they have those race to 10 bets?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, Miami's got to be minus 200.
I mean, we could look. Let's see what we got.
I mean, it should be almost like minus 400.
Yeah, that's actually not a bad approach. That's probably the best way to target the DeAndre Jordan minutes.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. Game props. First team to
Tyler, Thomas will get to the Suns game.
Race to 10 points first quarter. Phillies plus 120, Miami minus 150.
Smash.
Miami in the third quarter minus 165.
He might get benched in the third quarter. Just take the first one.
Yeah, the first quarter is definitely one.
But Doc Rivers is so stubborn. I mean,
I'm
old. I'm stubborn.
Race to 15 in the first quarter is minus 165. The only worry, though, is that Philly comes out and you get like a Danny Green 3 at Tobias Harris 3. Yeah, it's like.
I mean, I'm not saying bet your mortgage on it, but
Oh no, yeah, but I see the approach to it though.
for like one unit,
minutes.
give me a break. Jonathan Nelson says Jimmy double. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't hate it. The only thing I'm worried about is I could see him going for like 25, 7, and 8. Like he could pull one of those games where he just he loads up the stat sheet and doesn't get you double digits in one of them.
Yeah, I think that's why you're getting plus 175 though.
Let's see what we can get on. He's gotten 2+ steals in every playoff game this year. Let's see what his steals are.
Do they have that?
Yeah, they do on FanDuel.
We might be getting FanDuel here in California. It's on the ballot.
Yeah, I seen that on Twitter the other day.
I wonder how it's going to work. It's a pretty liberal state. Like, I'm just assuming we're going to do it.
Let's see. Jimmy Butler to record 2+ steals minus 125. I like that bet.
Okay.
Yeah, that's definitely one I like also.
All right,
and then
so
if you think Bam has a good night, say on the defensive end, him to record 2 blocks is plus 220.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm all over the Heat tonight, man. Chalk City. So
yeah, I agree. I think
I got cute last night, and I'm not doing that again, man. This is just Occam's razor. The simplest explanation is the best one. That's how.
Hoop backstage yet? Ready to talk some DFS?
No, we'll have to. You know what we'll probably do? We'll do the whole thing betting, and then hopefully he'll get here on time, and we'll just do DFS with Hoop. Of course, we'll get his picks real quick, but we're not going to redo the whole breakdown of the games. We'll just go straight to DFS when he gets here.
Yeah,
so
I got you.
Let's go to Phoenix. -6 again. They almost backdoor covered, man, but you know what? That makes me feel better about laying the 6 tonight.
Yeah, I agree.
I felt like I lost the bet. Like I just knew I was wrong. Like watching that game, I'm like, okay, all these Dallas guys look good against Utah.
It's a clash of styles too. Like it's just a bad matchup for them.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost like they were doing when you played in like middle school or high school and they put out the drills and you dribble around the cones. Like that's what they were doing against Utah. Utah's perimeter defense is absolutely terrible.
Like if Dallas would have drew Golden State, I think they would have been in a better spot. They could have ran them off the 3 line. They really didn't have a big that can punish them on the inside. And Luka could go toe-to-toe with those other guys for Golden State.
I think that's a great point because that's the other thing on my handicap. And the reason I felt like I'm going to lose, why did I bet on a team with no center?
Yeah, they just can't handle Ayton down low.
It's ridiculous.
And he didn't even, he scored 25 points, but he didn't even have that good of a game on the boards. He only had 8 rebounds. So, like, if he gets in there and just starts dominating on the boards, like, there's just nothing they can do with him.
Do you think that's because he was getting Kleber a lot, though, and so he would be out?
I mean, a little bit, but you could see sometimes he was just boxing out and the ball would bounce the other way, like watching the game.
Because there was no Dwight Powell's. You can't run him in this series, right?
Yeah, but it's like one of them things. Like you kind of gotta play. Are you going to trade 3s for 2s in this series with a team that's going to shoot 65% from the mid range with Booker and CP just lighting you up?
I mean. So originally my idea was, okay, Luka's so good, there's no answer for him. And he grabbed, 45, 12, and 8?
Yeah.
And the game wasn't even close?
They're going to do the same thing they did to Denver last year with Dallas right here. Luka can get anything he wants. Nobody else is going to score.
And Jalen Brunson, I mean, boy, I was so high on that guy. I'm like, let's sign him and trade De'Aaron Fox. Boy, I wonder how much of that was just going against, like I said, the Utah traffic cones. Because now that he's got real defenders against him, he didn't look nearly as explosive.
Yeah, I mean, how many Dallas games do you think this year where Luka went for 40+ points, 10+ rebounds, 8+ assists? As a team, they hit 16 threes and shot 47% from the field and only turned over the ball 8 times. How many times do you think they lost? Or were down 20 in the fourth quarter in those games? Probably none.
I don't know, but you got a great point. I mean,
like, I just don't, unless Phoenix plays a bad game and just lays a dud, I just don't see how they lose to this team.
And they're not the type of team to lay a dud. They've shown throughout the year they've been consistent with they have like one little 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, and then like even if they start the game bad or they have a lull, they have different guys they can go to that can spark the team again. Like you always have a guy.
Yeah. I mean, what sucks is I was pretty excited about this series, but and I hope Glock's not watching. Hopefully he's watching the golf show, so he's not like cursing me. But boy, I'm like out on Dallas.
Are you out on Dallas?
I mean, I don't think they're going to get swept. They'll get one in game 3 or 4, but I mean, doesn't it just seem like gentlemen's all over it? I mean, the gentleman's suite to the gentleman's club.
I think they get one, maybe.
Yeah, I think they get one too.
I think
they'll do good in game 3.
I think there's a chance they get swept.
Yeah, but I mean, Phoenix, man, I got to give you your props. This team is so good, and they're balanced. They're balanced.
They're just a machine. They just keep rolling. They just keep doing their thing.
Yeah. All right. So let's talk about, of course, we are not the DFS experts, but this goes right into your wheelhouse with props. Do you like Booker or Paul tonight? Seems like that's the tough decision.
I mean, I think it depends. My personal opinion, I don't know how much this factors into it, but I think it depends on if you're playing Aiden. Because, like, if you're playing Aiden, wouldn't you want CP because they kind of, like, work together?
I don't think it matters because Aiden's going to crush no matter what.
Yeah, but if CP has one of his huge games,
like, I mean, isn't Aiden where you just start the lineup tonight?
If he scores like 25 and has like 14 assists, how many of those 14 do you think are on the pick and rolls to Aiden?
Like 7.
So there's 14 points for Aiden right there, not counting whatever he scores other than that and his rebounds. So, like, that's how I won the one night is I had him stacked, and CP scored, I think, like 50, and Aiden put up 40. So there was 90 out of those two guys. So we're like, yeah, Booker and Aiden could have a big game, but I would rather play Booker alone and those two together.
I think I'm playing Aiden tonight, and when Hoop gets here, and hopefully he will, we'll ask him. But, I mean, he's not going against another center.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, talk about, everyone wants to go small. Yeah, face the consequences tonight against a well-balanced Phoenix team who can defend on the perimeter and has a big man.
Just to talk it up now, where would you get your cheap guys in this game? Where in either game? Would you go to this game or the other game? I say the other game.
Let me pull it up. I'm just tilting that
I say you still got to play the Philly guys.
And I can't believe I'm not winning right now. Tennis, unbelievable. All right, pulling up NBA Classic, entering. So you're talking about cheap guys, huh?
I'd say you got to pull from the other game for cheapies.
So you love Gabe Vincent, right?
Yeah, I think he plays. I think he plays well tonight.
I don't want to play any of the Philadelphia value.
See, I that's where I think you're wrong. I think you got to play some of these guys tonight.
Who? Like, I'd much rather have Campaign than Shake Milton.
I mean, I don't hate playing. I know he's gonna. It's like a Danny Green. He's gonna get you minutes.
You can have fun with that. I'm not doing that.
I mean, just as a last guy in, I don't hate it. Niang isn't gonna shoot 0 for 7 from 3 again. Like Tobias Harris at 7-7. Paul Reed, if he stays out of foul trouble.
So, but Harris, I don't really count him value, right? I mean, that's right in the mid-range.
I mean, Paul Reed put up 25 fantasy points in 13 minutes. Like, if he doesn't get into foul trouble.
And he's 46?
Well. Yeah.
Okay, I'll take him. That's a role player I'll accept there. So, talk to me about these Phoenix guys, though. You've been way more dialed in on them. We got Jay Crowder. We got Cameron Johnson.
I mean, they're all starting to play better, which is kind of like the thing. Like, do you want to play anybody outside of the stars?
Do you go back to Campaign?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's definitely going to play well because they're going to have to play smaller. Yeah. And he does play against Dinwiddie, and Dinwiddie's just not played well in the playoffs. So he's going to eat him up. But like,
do we have to have Luka in?
I say yes.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Yeah. I say yes.
Okay, then where's my guy Aiden at? Aiden's only 7,600. He's got to be the best player on the whole slate in my mind.
Probably going to be very, very highly owned too.
That's fine. I've been more into the cash games lately, and I just throw the lineup in the GP in the whatever.
Otter says Niang is not a friend to RPS.
No, he's not. I rostered him last game too.
Would you
and
play?
He'll probably go off tonight.
Cleaver?
Yeah, I did, but it didn't matter because
no. Would you play him tonight?
Sucked. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, if he shoots again, he's
only again, 4K. I mean, if he gets you like 25, like you're pretty cool about that.
Yeah, I mean, you're not lying. That's not a bad idea. But the thing is like, is he going to bang home the threes?
He was shooting pretty good last game, but it's almost like, do you almost like a zigzag here? I mean, do you grab a guy like Niang and then maybe fade a Kleber off the last games?
Yeah, you could do that.
PJ Tucker's up to 43. Oladipo's taking Duncan Robinson's spot in the rotation at 4,500. What do you think of him? Who would you rather have, Oladipo or Cam Johnson? And I know you like Cam Johnson.
That's tough. I mean, it's one of them things, like, because Cam Johnson's going to shoot some threes. Like, if he has a big game scoring, like, he's going to beat Oladipo. But if they start to blow him out, like Oladipo is going to play a little bit. He's going to play those Jimmy Butler minutes.
And they're blowing him out. I'm throwing Oladipo in there. Thank you.
Yeah.
You helped me decide. Yeah. All right. So what props do you have in this game?
Yeah, I mean, looking at this Phoenix game, 18.5 points, I think is too low. I mean, I think he's going for 20 again.
Wait, what is his number?
18.5.
Dude, there's so many good bets on the prop side tonight.
Yeah, I like that. You could go to, I don't mind taking Devin Booker's rebounds over 4.5 because you seen they were pulling Ayton away from the hoop. I got bit by getting into Ayton's rebounds last game.
Yeah.
I trust a guy like Devin Booker to crash the boards and get some rebounds against this team. So 4.5 on him, I think, is too short. If you want to go to some of the combos, like points plus assists on CP3 is 26.5. If you think he bounces back and has a big game, that's a nice one. The points plus rebounds on Ayton is 29.5. If he goes for 20 plus points, I think he could get you double-digit rebounds here if he gets to stay closer to the hoop. But the question is do they rip him away from the hoop? So I'd rather just play his points.
Mm-hmm.
And then looking at some of the performance doubles, I mean, Ayton double-double and wins plus 140. Chris Paul double-double and wins plus 165. Ayton 20-plus points and win plus 170.
Mm-hmm.
If you think Cam Johnson has a nice game, him to score 12-plus points in Phoenix wins 2-1. Devin Booker, 6-plus rebounds and win plus 215. CP3, 2-plus threes and win plus 225. Booker, 30-plus points and win Phoenix plus 290. Those would be some of the ones I'd be looking at.
All right. Here's a great question from Richie. I'll let you answer, man, because you're better at props than me. But, of course, this is DFS, so take price into consideration. Victor, Strus, or Vincent? He wants 2.
I'd say the last 2 because they're going to play more minutes.
You like Strus more than Oladipo?
Yeah, Strus played 33 minutes last game, spread. He's going to play the minutes.
So should I take him out and put Strus in? I can't play all 3.
This is where we need the DFS guy because maybe you can play all 3. There's only so many guys you can play tonight.
I'm throwing Strus in there. All right, I just took Oladipo out. I'm going to put Strus in. Thank you for that question. All right, well, that's it. Yeah, I don't know if we're getting those guys, so maybe that show went a little bit long. What are you thinking here, Tyler? You got anything else, or we'll just have to jump on the Discord and, of course, ask our questions on the Final Countdown. If you're not a member of Run Pure Sports, make sure you head on over there. Use that promo code GetBets. You can watch the Final Countdown. You can listen like I did, and then switch to Derek White Chalk and watch him go 0 from 6, that kind of stuff. But
what do you think about Philly's team total at 99.5? Do you think they break 100 tonight?
If I had to bet it, I'd say no, but I don't feel like we have a huge edge there.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing because I think if they shoot a little bit better, they do cross that number. What do you think about the totals in both games, though? I would lean over in both.
I mean, it's only 207 in Philadelphia, so you can't play the under there.
And Philly shot bad, or not Philly?
Both teams
shot bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the over in the first one. I like the under in the second one.
I'm not betting
the under.
I'm not betting the under in that series again.
Well, let's not bet it, but I'm not taking the over. I'm not taking the over again. I mean, I don't know. Do you think that the pace is the same? Because we got killed on pace in that game, right?
I mean, what do we think changes it? Like Dallas is going to have to play pretty fast to try and play Ayton off the floor, but it's not going to work. They're going to go small, which speeds up the game. So, I think the over is the play.
Yeah. I know it was because they either said you either fade him 100%. He's talking if you're just listening.
I watched it.
Derek White talk I'm talking about for the guys that are listening because like when I listen to the RPS shows, usually I do it while I'm doing stuff. I don't have the chat in front of me. So the Derek White talk on the Up to Lock show yesterday was great. Yeah, and I loved it. They said if you MME, you either full fade or you put him in every lineup. And that there was a big debate about that. And Big T got title, and I was rooting for title because those were my picks too. So give Big T his props, and they'll be back on there tonight having a lot of fun. I wonder how many hours of content that Travis is going to do today. So looks like we're going to have to wait till next week, Tyler, to get the thoughts of our guy Hoop. They're busy cashing on golf, and you know what? We can't blame them because how many screenshots and how much money has the Run Pure Sports team won on golf in the past 18 months?
Ton.
I mean, they've absolutely crushed it. I mean, if I had the patience to watch that sport, I'd be all over it. I mean, I've just turned it on and it's like, dude, no amount of weed can get me to fucking chill out and watch that show. I mean, I'm just so bored. Even in HD, the courses are beautiful. I mean, yeah. Anyways, I can't do it. But they're doing a great job. And for the golf fans, you know, you have to love that they're giving winner after winner. And, you know, Tyler, toe tagging Tambo, right? Have you seen his threads he put up? You know, if you're into DFS, you check out his. He puts a thread every week. He compiles, you know, reading everybody. They are really prepared on the golf, so we cannot blame Hoop for missing us today. And we gave you our thoughts, right? And because Tyler's so good at props, man, I really trust him when it comes to building these lineups, right? Just a budding DFS superstar here. If he wasn't making so much more money betting, he'd probably be a little more into it. So, all right, Tyler. I don't see the professor here, man. It's time for his segment.
I was looking for him. I mean, the Bucks lost, and he
no,
kind of
we
ran
the
away.
people, no professor. What is going on today?
This is crazy. They must be on that golf show in the chat.
Yeah, but we do have our guy Otter. He says I may be more of a cash player, but I agreed with Mangone that those guys to play white. But my gut came in and said Big T does well here. Yeah, you know what? I've been more into the cash too lately, Otter. I think cash is a lot of fun. You know what started me on it is I started playing cash and doing the tennis lineups, and I started doing pretty good. I said, "Oh, I'm going to start venturing into the NBA cash streets." And it's actually, I think the tennis once you go above like $10 or $20, the opponents are a lot better in tennis. I mean, there's not a lot of people entering the $100 and $200 that are just screwing around. NBA, it seems like. You know, I'm not, you know, it doesn't feel like, you know, I'm going against guys that have been absolutely crushing DFS year after year. Robert, great point. Got to hit that like button before you go, everybody. But we're not done yet, Tyler, because it's time for the best bets.
Give me that 8 and over 18.5 points.
I love that one. I
think he blows that number out of the water. And give me for the other game, give me Gabe Vincent over 15.5 points plus rebounds plus assists.
All right. I'm going to go with, because it's a shorter line, I'll go with the Suns. I think both these games are blowouts, man. I'm off that Mavericks train already. It's just a bad matchup for them. It's just a bad matchup. And I think they're going to look much better at home. I think Bullock and all those guys are going to start shooting from three again. But not tonight. Not tonight. I think they go home in the 2-0 hole. We get the classic 2-0 story going back on Saturday. But that's how it goes. I like Miami too, if you guys can figure it out. So, just like Gregory Russo's the professor, right? I'm all over the chalkboard tonight because I see both favorites winning here again tonight. So, Tyler, hey, we even managed to make a lineup without the help of the experts. I'd be curious to see what those guys think of our plays and the guys that we singled out, of course, on the final countdown brought to you by RunPureSports.com, promo code GetBets. Tyler, are you going to give out a parlay now, or are you going to have to wait and throw that in?
Yeah, I built the only way you could probably do this is on FanDuel, because it's combining 2 same-game parlays into one. But what do you think about this? Bam to get 12 plus rebounds, over 207.5, and the Heat win that game.
Okay.
Devin Booker to get 6 plus rebounds, Chris Paul 20 plus points, Phoenix wins.
Why don't we put Ayton in there instead of Paul?
You could go. Let's see what that gets us to.
I mean, like Jake said, man, Luka had like a historic performance.
That still gets us a great number. So
what do you got there?
You go, instead of Chris Paul 20, you take out and put Ayton in. Those two combined get you 35-1.
I mean, that's fantastic. So,
yeah.
And of course, Tyler's going to be cooking up same game parlays for the Run Pure Bets members. It throws them in the Discord all the time, and we have a lot of fun with that. So I can't wait to see what you come up with tonight. I can't wait to see what the rest of those guys come up with in contrast to our line, because I'm ready to hit submit on this bad boy that we created right now. I want to thank everybody for joining us, dude. Lively chat today. We didn't even need a guest because the chat was cracking. Our guys, Jake, Otter, Rodder, Kevin Clunan, DJ, hope you didn't get fired, Richie Smalls, Jonathan Nelson, Jay Reed. Appreciate everybody showing up here. Thomas Lanetta. All right. Wonderful show today. No show for us tomorrow. So, if you make it through today, DJ, you got till at least Friday at that job that you're holding down. But we'll be back on Friday, and I'm going to be on fire again, I have a feeling, because these NBA playoffs, I'm having a great time. But boy, sometimes the results really fire me up. Tyler, Why don't you bring us out of there with all the words of wisdom today?
Yeah, I mean, I don't got many words of wisdom, but we're going to win some bets tonight, and let's run pure. So get me out of here, spread.